Hi, I'm Kevin Matthews, Scottish film fan living in England, and this week I'm going to get a little bit ahead of myself because we usually do what else have you watched this week? And I just want to get it out of the way that I did finally watch that Luc Besson Dracula movie, and it absolutely is the epitome of the can we watch that fancy Dracula movie? No, we've got that fancy Dracula movie at home, and this is a fancy Dracula movie we've got at home. Like it's Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula from Temu. That's what it is. It absolutely is.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Craig. Film enjoy living in England, and because Kevin has been badger baiting or whatever it is he does out in the country, we're recording tonight's episode on a Saturday night. We normally do a Friday night recording. We're doing it Saturday night at 10 o'clock, which means me and Kevin are missing the sure to be iconic premiere of Saturday Night Live UK, which was basically it's our moon landing basically, and Kevin's making me miss it, and I might as well kill myself because it's sure to be just as great as the American Saturday Night Live, which Dave will tell you it's great. It's really great, and I can't believe we're missing it.
That's Kevin's doing you like the biggest favor ever.
Is it like SNL nowadays just keeps peaking again every year, Dave, when you think it can't hit higher heights?
I pray for the day Lauren Michaels passes on to hell and we stop having SNL because nobody can blackmail the
He's
NBC executives
comedically
anymore.
edging you in a way, isn't he?
He is.
Like
he really is.
Eventually, you will laugh, and that'll be
I haven't
the end.
yet in 40-some depressing years. I'm Dave Gray, and this week I learned that if you annoy the ladies at the craft table enough, they will give you something free eventually to go the fuck away. Nice. I'm sorry for that, by the way.
I'm Tyler Hosley, and did it hurt when you fell from the vending machine? Because you're looking like a fucking snack, and that's geared to all you guys and our wonderful listeners.
I mean, no, it wasn't a big fall. It was good. Thank you.
Yeah, it's geared. Kevin, Craig, everybody.
Hey. Did that come out during your date this week, Tyler? Is that
not that one?
Have you given that one some practice?
Not that one. That was the cucumber one.
Yeah,
that was actually the cucumber one is much nicer. But now, anyone listening to this and hearing that Tyler had a cucumber chat up line, it's very clean.
It's very cute.
It's not what you're thinking.
Which is absolutely
very cute.
Which in and of itself is a small miracle given tea.
It's true. And this is Raiders of the podcast.
Yay!
Let's see, what else did I watch this week? Oh yeah, I went to the theater. I had a double feature at the theater, guys. A double feature. I went and saw Undertone, which I know now is like a total like love it or hate it kind of film. There seems to be like zero middle ground for this movie. I'm in the love it camp, but people seem to really fucking hate this movie or really love this movie. There's like zero in between. But I don't know. Maybe it was because I was like sitting in a completely empty theater, but I thought it was like really unnerving and just super effective. I mean, for me, this is like minimalist horror done right. I mean, when it comes to supernatural horror, though, this is what I like. Slow, no jump scares, doesn't show you a goddamn thing, which is kind of like the exact opposite for me when it comes to any other subgenre of horror. Like, I don't want that for slashers. I want everything shown to me in a slasher, but for a supernatural movie, don't show me anything. I think it's creepier, just far creepier. Got a fantastic use of sound, a good location, good one location setting. I was getting like total Session 9 vibes from those audio files. But Session 9 is great. And yeah, the audio files on this are just super, super creepy. It's got a great central lead performance. I have no idea who that girl is, but she's wonderful. But yeah, I just, and that ending left me with like a very similar feeling of ambiguous dread that the Blair Witch Project gave me back in '99, which is something that doesn't happen very often. It's a divisive film. But I was gripped the entire time. I'd rather have 40 more undertones than another shitty Conjuring movie. So bring on more undertones. But it was good. I liked it. I'm curious to see what you guys will think of this movie. Because like I said, people don't just like it. People either love it or hate it. And that's it. So we'll see.
I'm excited for it. And when you mentioned Blair Witch, and I know what you like about Blair Witch, like that's enough to sell me to go to the cinema for this one. I only go to cinema like about 3 times a year.
Yeah, it's worth the cinema price because of the sound design. And if you get like a good theater with good speakers, it'll blow you away. It's good stuff. I really liked it, but I'm really curious to see what you think about this one because I think out of all of us, Craig will be the one that like digs it the most. So I'm curious.
Cinema soul, mate.
And I walked into the next theater right after that, and I followed it up with something like really similar, just like incredibly similar. Went to go see Reminders of Him, which is a sappy romance with Micah Monroe. Um, I enjoyed that a lot, actually. It's exactly what you'd expect from this kind of movie. If you've seen any Colleen Hoover adaptation, like Regretting You, or just any romance movie in the past 50 years, you've if you've seen this trailer, you know exactly what's going to happen and how it's going to end, like exactly. But I'm just a sucker for these sappy ass romance movies. What can I say? And I love Micah Monroe. She's amazing. She's good in this. But yeah, it's a win-win. If you like Micah Monroe and sappy romance movies, watch Reminders of Him. It's cute, and that's me.
I love Micah Monroe, but I think she might have Idris Elba's agents, like an agent who like straight up
Hates
hates
her,
her and
yeah.
doesn't want anything good for her ever.
Yeah, I agree. I spent most of this weekend at a con in Gettysburg. It's one I go to every year. It's really good. In order to get ready for this, because the wonderful Japanese actress, I'm going to butcher the name. I'm sorry. Aihi Shina was there, and I don't know if it's her first ever American convention or her first one in like 20 years or so. And she was very excited to be there. But my sister, who went with me, had never seen any of her movies. So we watched Tokyo Gore Police. I really enjoy Tokyo Gore Police. I have some issues with it and its messaging, but it's a lot of fun. As I've said on this podcast many times over the years, I really enjoy Japanese splatter cyberpunk from the late 90s, early 2000s. I think we all wax lyrical over Rubber's Lover and Pinocchio. What is it? 9864
Something like
642,
that, but yeah.
something like that. Yeah. And this is right there with them, but even bloodier. And it's just a lot of fun. And Ihai Shina is great in it. But that's not the movie she's really known for, right? I mean, we all know the movie she's really known for. I also made my sister watch Audition, the 1999 Takashi Miike film, adapted from a Ryu Murakami novel. Ryu Murakami's novels are very interesting. Let's leave it at that. It's about a middle-aged widower who, with the help of his friend, stage a fake audition to meet a new wife for himself. And he sets his sights on a young woman with a darkish past. It's excellent. I mean, if you haven't seen Audition, you should see Audition. Just, buckle up for that ending. That ending is something special. And for the record,
I
don't think that Asami Yamakaze does anything wrong in that movie, and I don't care what you say. They all deserved it. That's just my view. Anyway, you were going to say?
I reference that movie way too much because anytime I say like I'm sitting waiting patiently for someone to phone me or for there to be a delivery, I always say I'm waiting for it, like the girl from Audition when she's waiting for the phone to ring.
Yeah, that's.
And no one ever gets that reference, but you guys get it.
Yeah, we get that. But not to stop there, I also showed my sister the first Tomie movie, which I like the Tomie series. I do. I don't think any of them are great movies, but I think they're interesting and they can be fun. And the first movie is like a weird look at how to do it wrong. Like it has good pieces. It's well shot. The cast is good. It's decently directed. The girl they hired to play Tomie is great when she finally shows up. But like at no point do they tell a compelling story or tell the right story. Instead, we're being told this sub story that overtly references the main story that they just don't cover. So it's weird. It's a weird one, but I enjoy it for what it is. I like some of the others in the series a little bit more, but I like some of the series a lot less, actually. I really hate some of them, but I like the first one enough. I love Replay. I love Forbidden Fruit. Rebirth is absolutely batshit. And what is it? Unlimited and Tommy versus Tommy. I really enjoy all of those. But that's just me. I think they're worth watching, but you should not listen to me when it comes to J horror. I have weird and eclectic tastes. I followed that up with another Korean found footage style movie. It's not all found footage, but part of it, live stream, and that just sucks. Full stop. It's a bad thriller with a bad cast. It's just dull. Like, I just do not. It's one of those movies where I'm watching and it's like, I don't know why anybody would give a flying fuck about this. The characters are obnoxious. So when the bad guy comes in and he just, he's hurting the only person that wasn't horrific, it's like, oh, okay, great. Because there's no way, these guys are going to be able to help because they're the worst. And I finished it with watching a live commentary of the 1984 American superhero black comedy classic, The Toxic Avenger, which included like every surviving cast member and Lloyd Kaufman in attendance.
Ooh.
Giving a live commentary, and that was great. That was probably, like, I like the original Toxic Avenger, but that's probably the best way to see it. So if you ever get a chance to do that, you should do that. And that was me for the week.
Nice.
Really quick, a little bit of podcasting, podcast note. I'm not going to have a lot of time to edit this episode, so it's going to sound awful, and I'm sorry in advance.
Woo. I got a bit of a deal on. We got a streaming service in the UK called Now TV. I got a good deal on the movies for a month, so I thought, okay, this is good. I can watch some movies where I didn't want to access them for free, if you know what I mean. Not that I ever would, but I didn't want to spend like £4.50 renting them. So this is a good chance for me to just get through a bunch of them. So I started with 2025 horror thriller Companion. That was good. Like, the cast are really, really good. Like, the whole cast are really good. But Sophie Thatcher is, really, really excellent. She's very sympathetic, which is impressive given the role that she's in. It's a decent looking film, really good costuming, and the premise is solid. Like, I was excited for the premise, which I kind of knew through the marketing, but I kind of wish I didn't. But I did know, and they have some fun with it. There's a section where Thatcher's character is speaking German. That's like a really inventive use of the premise. But I don't know. I don't think it goes hard enough with that premise. I don't think it goes hard enough with the incel culture stuff. It kind of they do fun stuff with it, but a lot of the time it just feels like window dressing for like a basic, young people in a cabin in the woods horror. It's just it brushes up against stuff, but I think it could explore a bit further. But it's a good film. It's good fun. And Sophie Thatcher's, she's always very sympathetic. That's what I like about her as an actress. She's very sympathetic in Yellow Jackets and the weird Heretic. Was it called Heretic? Yeah. But I really like her though. She just has a gift for playing sympathetic characters, which works really well in Companion. We've all seen that, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think we all have.
Oh yeah.
So I didn't like that one quite as much as I hoped I would, but I liked it. And then onto one which I really didn't expect to like and liked a lot more than I expected was 2025 action comedy Megan 2.0. I hated the first Megan. I thought it was a really dumb, dull horror movie. Whereas Megan 2.0 flips over, and it's still dumb. It's still super, super dumb, but it's a dumb action movie, which kind of makes it fun. Dumb action movies are great fun, and I had a lot of fun with it. Like, The human cast are entirely disposable, like they were the first time around. Like I couldn't give less of a fuck. But when they're not trying to make Megan, iconic, which the marketing tries way too hard to do, and it really irritates me. But when they're not trying to make her the character iconic, she's a lot of fun, and just the film's just got a lighter, more fun tone. It's winking at James Cameron, the Mission Impossible films, Upgrade, stuff like that. It's just having fun, and it wants you to have fun. And yeah, I like it a hell of a lot more than the first film, which I really wasn't a fan of. So I'd probably watch Megan 3, which I didn't expect to be saying. We all watch Megan.
I did.
2.0. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we all prefer it to the first one?
I do.
Yeah. Although
Definitely.
it does the same thing the first one does that pissed me off.
What was that?
Not stab the really bad computer lady in the face repeatedly. She is just so, like, the character is so annoyingly stupid that it frustrates me.
Yeah, I get you. Like I said, at best, the human characters are disposable. At worst, they are stabbable, as you say. Very, very stabbable. It's definitely a step in the right direction for the Megan franchise, and it is going to be one because their marketing irritates the fuck out of me. Like, when you get a Netflix, they're advertising one of the latest movies, and they say, "Oh, so and so is already iconic." It makes me want to slap the taste out of someone's mouth. You can't instantly become iconic, and that's what they're trying with Megan, like to make her instantly iconic, and it annoys the shit out of me because the character's quite fun otherwise. So don't make me hate her. Which is what they're doing. Then I watched the 2024 action comedy Venom: The Last Dance. I think I spoke to Dave about this week. I've been on the fence mostly for this series. Like they're fun movies, but they're also, a lot of it is just kind of contrived MacGuffin-y nonsense to like hang the Tom Hardy double act on. That's it. That's the whole center of the film is Tom Hardy arguing with Tom Hardy, and it's the same thing here for the first hour, with varying degrees of success. Some of it's funny, some of it's cringy, but the third act is the best. It's the best Venom that you'll have seen out of the whole three films. The last act is pretty much just this very enjoyable balls to the wall extended action sequences, and you've got like weird alien monsters, you've got multiple symbiotes, you just got lots of cool shit, and like a legitimately, I struggle to say this, but a legitimately like emotional climax. Like, did I expect to get teary eyed during Venom? I'm not sobbing. I wasn't like helpless, but yeah, a little moist in the eyes with Venom: The Last Dance, just because Tom Hardy just sold it really well. So yeah, I think it's probably the best Venom film, which might sound like I'm, damning it with faint praise, but I liked it. It was fun. And then I don't have to ask anyone if they've watched. Well, I don't have to ask Tyler if he's watched this one before. I watched the 2024 musical drama thriller Joker: Folie à Deux. And yeah, I really liked that. I thought for a while, like, I think I'm going to like this one. I didn't like the first one, but I think I'm going to like this one, and I did. I really liked the two leads, especially Gaga. I thought it was really, really, really good. I like the production design. The costumes are fantastic. I like the staging of the musical numbers. It just had me engaged from start to finish. Like I said, I disliked the first film. I didn't hate it, but I don't like Joker. But also, Joker has to, not just because it's a sequel to the first one, Joker has to exist for this film to work. Like, seeing the first film made this film work. Like, it's the flip side to that first film's coin. And it kind of actually makes the first a better film. Like, there's no mistaking the intentions of the first film anymore. Because I think because Todd Phillips totally lacks any subtlety. He tried to make a film about a loser incel piece of shit, and it his intentions were mistaken. So with this film, he has gone all out to just completely undo that, to completely undo everything that people might have thought he was saying in the first film. And this whole film is dedicated to say, no, that is not what I fucking meant. It's like, you can say what you like about this film, I get it, but I think with Joker Folie à Deux, I think Todd Phillips has made some art. He's made some art for the first time in 25 years, and I respect it. There's thematic stuff here which is fucking interesting. Like, the film isn't amazing on any particular level, but it is interesting, and it's an interesting. I call it interesting failure, but it's like it's more like that's just piloting a plane into the earth. I don't know if you can call it a failure or more of a kind of a self-destruct. I don't know. As a film, it's engaging and enjoyable, but as a piece of art, I find Joker Folie à Deux quite interesting, quite fascinating at times. So yeah, I really like that one. Which Tyler did, of course.
Yes, I did, very much so.
Kevin gave it 1.5 stars, so not so keen.
I think there was a better way to do it. I agree with you that there may be a case for him sort of overcompensating after maybe still being annoyed that people took the first film the wrong way or took that character the wrong way. But I found this one really like bang over the head insulting and just loathing anybody that would want to watch a film with that character. I'm like, all right then, get to the end credits and I'll stop fucking watching it.
Well, I get that, because like in the first film, he didn't have the subtlety to say what he wanted to say, and in the second one, he still didn't have the subtlety, so he just went at it with a sledgehammer.
I mean, yeah,
And
the
I
first
guess
one's
that was-
pretty insulting and stupid, so it's weird to hold that against the second one. Because everything in the first one is just artifice and fuckwittery. And I understand that's part of the point, but you know.
So how did you feel about the second one, Dave?
I haven't seen it yet. It's on my list, but it's just one of those things I always have, like, I know I'm going to have to be in the right mood for it, and I haven't been in that mood. If I want to watch a Joker movie, I'm going to lean more towards the third Joker movie.
Okay. What's that? Oh, I know exactly the one.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those films where I was glad to see, because the last thing anyone would have wanted Todd Phillips to do was to make an overpriced artistic statement with a sequel to the Joker, and he did it, and I absolutely respect him for like I say, just ploughing his plane into the runway
To be
on
fair,
purpose.
after the first movie, that's exactly what I wanted him to do. So when Tyler told me that's what he did, it's on my list. It's just, I know I got to be in the right mood, and I don't know what mood it is that's going to make me want to watch a musical Joker movie.
Of course. But yeah, good movie. Enjoyed it, and that's me for the week.
Well, I've already mentioned Dracula, and I think you'll know the common view on that, and I agree with that. I agree with the majority opinion. There is a good spell at the end. I would say a good sort of 10-15 minutes. But I mean, Dave will never get there because before that point, there's parkour martial arts gargoyles. So Dave would have launched himself at the
I saw
nearest
it.
window by then.
I watched
Did you?
it.
I forgot.
Yes, I watched it weeks ago.
And I've yet to hear the scream of rage echoing around the
Why
world
would
at
I
the
scream of
parkour
rage
martial
about
art
that?
gargoyles.
I would take that over the bullshit that, like, they do a lot of bullshit in it, but I'll take that over some other Draculas I've seen. Like, I didn't like it. I thought the guy that played Dracula was actually pretty good,
Yeah,
And the rest of it is just, yeah, we have Dracula at home.
yeah. But there was a sequence at the end that I enjoyed, and then the kind of conversation at the end worked. So I don't know. I'm figuring on maybe rating it slightly below the dire Dracula Untold, just because obviously so much of the look and feel just feels ported over from Francis Ford Coppola's film. But I don't know, the that little sequence at the end is perhaps better than anything in Dracula Untold once you get past those gargoyles. So I wouldn't say, but it's bad. Like it's really bad, and yeah, everyone would do well to just ignore it. I did a little bit of homework this week. Tyler will be pleased to know. I watched Double Jeopardy. I had
Nice.
that. I had that on
Yes.
deck. It's on Netflix. It's one of those films that's slightly ridiculous, but you enjoy it more because you're just like, 90s movies. 90s
Mm.
movies when they were like still giving Tommy Lee Jones lead roles and what was deemed blockbuster entertainment.
And it
The
might not have
fact,
even been the 90s anymore. I'm not sure
yeah,
when it came out. Like 90s movies in the 2000s had that extra little.
it's just this little limbo area. But like for every time it went, in my view, like too ridiculous, because it's quite a ridiculous film. But then it plays it quite grounded, and then the main character, played by Ashley Judd, is doing stuff, and I'm watching it thinking, well, this has got to pan it this way, and this got to, this is a step too far. But it's almost like the film had just enough like self-awareness, so there were things that she did that then, all right, there are consequences coming from that, or that has set her back a step or two and she's going on this journey, and that was, yeah, it was more enjoyable than I thought. Like, I liked Ashley Judd having a very short badass training montage while she's in prison. I liked her being so determined that she was going to like face off against a grisly Tommy Lee Jones, and I liked where it went. I think she gets out of prison, it's about the half hour mark, or the maybe 35, 40 minutes. Like, right, that's like the pacing felt good. It was just right, and it just sat nicely between the absolutely preposterous and the just grounded enough for me to sit there and go, yeah, you make this work, woman. You better get out there and get that double jeopardy reward that's yours. Ashley Judd is really good at it. She's like really enjoyable. I think I forget his name. Is it Bruce Greenwood?
It is.
Like
Love Bruce
he's
Greenwood.
the dastardly hubby. There's some fun like minor set pieces, and yeah, as I say, I enjoyed it much more than I expected to enjoy it. So I would recommend that to people that are after that kind of easygoing, nostalgic glow.
The
Which,
word I always use for it is satisfying.
yeah,
You,
yeah,
you
it
know where
is.
it's heading, and when it gets there, it's gonna give you what you want.
Now, forgive me if I have any crossover because I can never remember. I think we recorded last week on a Friday, so I think I watched stuff at the weekend. I mentioned now I watched War Machine on Netflix. I didn't mention that already, did I, last week?
Nope.
No, not
Nope.
that I remember.
That was all right. That was so Alan Richardson is in the main role. He's obviously an ex super duper soldier guy who's wanting to complete training to be an army ranger. So he's with a squad of people. He doesn't really do people. He's not a people person. But when they are put on a training mission, instead of the fake mission that they think they're on, they stumble across some alien tech that measures them up and then starts destroying them. So it's a riff on Predator with a big sort of robo warrior. It was pretty enjoyable, like for a riff on Predator. It was quite fun. There was some decent gore. For some of the kills are quite gory. It's ridiculous. It's completely predictable, but that doesn't make it any less enjoyable. I always forget this is directed by Patrick Hughes, who did the excellent Red Hill, and I should always recommend that when I can, because I forget that he did that quite often now, because the other stuff he's done over the past few years includes like the Hitman's Bodyguard and the Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard, and I think
One
he
of the
did that
Expendables, I
Man from
think.
Toronto. Yeah. So Red Hill is still his high benchmark. So this doesn't get up to that level, but is solid, and it makes good use of Richardson in a role that he works in. Like, rather than, let's not try and turn Alan Richardson into the next Dwayne Johnson. Like, he doesn't have the chops for comedy. He doesn't work in action comedy. Certainly not from that awful play date anyway. He works as Reacher in the show. He works as this kind of super soldier in this that could go up against a big laser toting robo warrior. He has a fairly limited range that he's really good in. Let's just stick to that. On a very different tangent, I finally watched It Was Just an Accident. And yeah, I mean, that is just fucking brilliant. From the few films I've seen, I spoke to you guys about this on Messenger. I know Craig really liked is it Surat?
Surat, yeah.
Surat, that I'm really keen to see. I've seen the sentimental value, and just based on that small sample and this film, I think sentimental value is one of the ones I would put as a least likely winner for the international film at the Oscars. It Was Just an Accident is like, it's just brilliant across the board, brilliant. It is someone who encounters someone that they believe tortured and tormented them while they were a prisoner during wartime. They think they recognise him from the noise of his walk because he has a prosthetic leg. So he takes it upon himself to capture this person and figure out what to do with him. But he wants to be sure he's got the right person. So he gets other people who should know this person, and then they're trying to figure it out, and they're trying to do so that whatever they do is with a relatively clear conscience for them, because they will find it just. But things get complicated by the time it takes to try and really make sure this identification is correct. And also there is like there are one or two other moments that are quite, they have a touch of comedy about them because of the main characters being dragged into different situations, but they're actually presented so deftly that it's more about the humanity and watching these people, still weave their way through the like the standard commitments and obligations of society, while in the back of their mind they're trying to keep this plan on track to deal with someone they believe was like a wartime jailer. It's I genuinely can't recommend it highly enough. I give it 10 out of 10, or would recommend it to all of you. I may have forgotten any of you have seen this already. Dave, have you seen this one yet? Have you already mentioned
No,
it?
no, I haven't. I haven't.
And obviously Jafar Panahi, if that is how you pronounce his name, I apologise if not. He's an Iranian filmmaker who's been celebrated for years because he's he's made many films, like, I've got to say, under the radar, to put it mildly. And yeah, like, he's celebrated with good reason. I would recommend, if you're new to his work, you should check out This Is Not a Film, which is got a kind of documentary feel, but is also a bit of a narrative film and really gives you context to his approach to filmmaking and how he does what he does. And then watch this. That's the highest recommend. I would not recommend Body Cam, and I was really looking forward to Body Cam. I'd got myself excited by the trailer. Tyler will love Body Cam. I could barely see what was going on for most of the scenes, and it was just absolute nonsense from start to finish. And Tyler, I know you'll love it. It's from Brandon Christensen, who did Night of the Reaper. Like he's done quite a few things. Was it the Puppet Man? Zed. A few horror movies over the years, and the past two or three have been co-written with, I think it's his brother Ryan Christensen.
Those are all
this is
Shudder, yeah. All
yeah,
Shudder films.
yeah. He's done a lot with Shudder. Not all of his earlier ones, but I think they've mainly gone under the Shudder umbrella now. This is a tale of two cops who are called to a domestic disturbance. They are obviously a bit jittery with the environment that they walk into, and they're wary of who might approach them, and things go wrong. One officer wants to then cover up how badly things have gone wrong, but they're already like you're already seeing the body cam footage. So I'm like, this is, there's, as far as I'm aware, there's a point of no return anyway. So I wasn't invested in the scenes that have them trying to maybe see if they can get rid of the footage. And then I wasn't invested in any of the rest because it's either, I mean, it's really, really bad for the jitteriness of the camera work. Is if they are running away from or running to people, it's just all over the place. I was feeling a bit motion sickness at times because of just how badly that was done. The scares are generally all jump scares, and like a lot of scenes are shot with cops showing the way with their torchlight. And for me, I think like one of the main rules against found footage horror movies, which this is, even though it doesn't stay slavishly devoted to one format because it jumps between the cameras and does stuff. But one of the golden rules is the earlier they do like either night vision or some kind of low lighting or infrared, the worse it's going to be. That's a general rule I go by. And this starts off pretty early. And as I say, then a lot of the scenes are by torchlight, and you're seeing the torch and the gun as the cops are looking about, and it's it's just really bad. And I made the same comment that other people have made. This might have been an enjoyable VHS segment, but for a feature, it's there's nothing worthwhile here because you don't get invested in the characters. I would say you can't really judge the performances of the leads because it's that bad with the camera work. But then one of the main characters has a mother who knows a bit more about what might be going on with the darkness and the potential conspiracy. I don't think she gives a very good performance. So that one performance you can actually see more than the others is a weaker performance. Just it's not good. I'm sorry to say because I was really looking forward to it, and that was me.
This week we saw the 1996 American crime drama starring Ashley Judd and Luke Perry, Normal Life, and the 1994 American slapstick black comedy starring Martin Short and Charles Grodin, Clifford. Hey, hi, no, Kevin. This is the last time we get to say this for a while. With these two titans of film picking. Would you like to pick a movie and tell us about it, Kevin?
Sure. So because it is such an auspicious occasion, I will dive deep into Clifford's world. I'll go with this that Craig brought us. So Martin Short plays Clifford. Martin Short was an adult man at this point in the mid-90s, and he's playing a bratty 10-year-old named Clifford. All he wants to do is visit Dinosaur World. To do that, he will cause a plane to have an emergency landing. He will do whatever it takes. And he'll end up with his uncle Martin, played by Charles Grodin. And Martin will put up with a lot because he is trying to impress his partner, Sarah, played by Mary Steenburgen. Now, before I forget, has anyone dealt with man children on screen more than Mary Steenburgen? Like, I was thinking this,
I
Step
mean,
Brothers, Elf, arguably Back to the
no.
Future 3.
Yeah,
I mean,
true.
Steve Martin was being a bit babyfied in Parenthood.
No, I mean that's the point.
She certainly has had her share of them, bless.
Well, seeing this, I feel like when they wrote Step Brothers, this was in there's maybe not in the forefront of their minds, but it was hovering in the background. I
Yeah,
think.
I think you're right, because and she has that sort of she has that more sympathetic and just caring nature that other characters don't necessarily have. So I'd heard about Clifford over the years and seen the odd clip. I'd seen a clip from the dinner party sequence from Clifford, and seeing any clip from Clifford out of context will have you sitting there thinking, what the hell is this? And who thought this was a good idea? But when you watch the entirety of Clifford, you sit there thinking, what the hell is this? And who thought this was a good idea? Like, it's wild. But if you go with it, it's it's very it's very bizarre and funny. If you don't buy into it at all, if you sit there thinking, why is everyone treating Martin Short like a child, then you're going to have a very difficult time enjoying Clifford and laughing at it. It's I I've not pinned down my feelings on this, right, Craig? But I
Mm.
I've quite I've quite enjoyed it. I wouldn't want to rewatch it though. He's such a shit. But it's this it's like this enjoyably exaggerated play on, like, bratty kids who are cheeky charmers in movies.
There were
That's what it's
lots of them
like.
around that era as well.
Yeah,
What Problem Child, Home Alone, Dennis. There was a big thing at the time.
yeah. And it is so it's working on that, and it wins. Like, Martin Short is, I mean, he's so hilarious for all of us. His extremely overly affected, polite manner with with adults that he wants to kind of bat his eyelashes at and act innocent is really funny.
Literally.
Especially when he's like talking to his father and his mother, or what was it, sweet woman who birthed me. When he's talking to him at the start, and then he's sweet talking the pilot, and you just see the camera going to his face when he's told it would take an emergency landing to divert them from Hawaii. So I was in at that point, and then the rest is like the rest just stays at that level of consistent amusement. It's almost, yeah, it's one of those films. It gets funnier the more ridiculous it gets. Like when Charles Grodin gets home after being sent elsewhere by a scheme arranged by Clifford, and then when Marshall's pretending he's like tied up and being kept hostage while people have a party in the house. I, I was laughing so much at that. And it almost makes up for the fact I did think Charles Grodin would be at a 10 for more of this movie. I was like, Charles Grodin is great when he is hitting the heights.
Mm.
But he's a bit more like, not passive, but he takes a lot more through most of the runtime because he allows himself to sort of have a bit of doubt until the finale, in which there is no doubt. There's no doubt about, like, what a little shit his nephew has been to him constantly, and what he needs to do about it. But yeah, I don't know who I would tell to watch this. Like, and as I say, I don't want to rewatch it, but I am glad that I watched it because it's like it's a hell of a wild and fun concept, and then the the cast really go for it and they go well. You've also got Dabney Coleman in a sort of supporting role, being well. I mean, they must have been writing the script saying, "Oh, we want a Dabney Coleman type for this guy," because he did this kind of thing so often throughout I want to say the late 80s to the late 90s. So I didn't expect to enjoy this as much as I did. I laughed quite a bit, and I hope to never watch it again. I think that sums up my feelings.
Confused.
You want to
Yeah.
guess how old Martin Short was when he made this film?
Ah,
I know because I looked
40.
it up, but yeah, he was 40.
Whoa.
44.
Ah,
He was 44 when he made this film.
I mean, it's a feat of filmmaking up there with the Lord of the Rings films, quite frankly, with how they do that. So all I can do is thank my sweetest podcast co-host.
if I had a time machine, and thank you, Kevin, I would go back in time to this pitch meeting. Not anything else in like the entire history of the earth. I'd go and watch the Clifford pitch at some sort of Hollywood studio and just see how this happened. Because
It's just like
beyond me.
one of the least wild sequences is Charles Grodin talking to a family of ants saying, "I found your kid in the bathroom with money," and they're jumping to the worst conclusion, and that's one of the least bonkers moments in this.
Oh, yeah.
It is. I'm not gonna lie. I really enjoyed Clifford. Uh it see the thing is, folks love to say things like they'll never make this movie today, and usually that just means that it's, bigoted and not funny. Or they make movies like it all the fucking time, but folks make money claiming you can't say this joke anymore. Like Ricky Gervais's whole career for the last 20 years has just been whining about how he can't tell the joke that he's telling anymore, despite the fact that he's telling that joke and he never stopped telling that joke. Or the trailer for the new Scary Movie, which is just, you can't tell this joke anymore, but you're telling the joke and nobody stopped telling the joke. So who said you couldn't tell the joke? This is a movie that they'd never make because it's wild and weird and wonderful and just wild and weird. And they don't make wild and weird shit anymore. They just make corporate shill shit. Uh, I I enjoyed the hell out of it. I agree with Kevin. I'll never watch this again. Uh, I don't like. Why does everyone hate Charles? I mean, besides him being Charles Grodin, so hating him is reasonable. Nothing personal, Charles. You got a face that everyone wants to slap.
I see Charles Grodin. I see angry Charles Grodin as America, and I don't know why that is, but
I mean, I don't think that's wrong. If I'm being fully honest, I don't think that's wrong. I think that is a very true thing. He is America. It's just you know, sometimes I don't want to look at America.
yeah.
I don't want to be look at it that fully in the face. I forgot. I like it. I think Martin Short is wonderful. Who doesn't love Mary Steenburgen? Like literally, who doesn't love Mary Steenburgen? Especially 80s and 90s Mary Steenburgen. She was absolutely wonderful and lovely and hilarious and sweet and a fucking gem. So, uh, it's good. It's not great. I think there's a little bit too much filler in the middle section. Like, why do we have to go to the anniversary party? It's not funny. Or let me rephrase that. The joke is done after the first prank or two, and then it's just like, ah ha ha, he's putting on lipstick. Isn't that hilarious? No. Ah, he's getting arrested. Isn't no like these jokes are just not good. And it's only a 90-minute movie, and that's ultimately the problem. They don't have enough jokes for it. When it works really well. Short is great. Grodin about to have an aneurysm is classic if you're an old person like we are. Steenburgen, like I said, is wonderful. Ben Savage shows up as a little boy in the year 2050, which, that just dates it. Dabney Coleman is always great. Totally wasted, though. Like, you could have done more with Dabney Coleman being the awful, skeezy boss. That would have been funnier and not made me hate everyone in the room that wasn't Mary Steenburgen. But they didn't do that. Instead, it's all just it's a two-hander, and there's just not enough material for it. And I think that's where this film really falls down. Yeah, I don't know what they could have done. Like, something just needed to change a little. It doesn't quite hit the mark for me, and I'm not sure why. But it just doesn't. And I think it's a shame because I think there's a lot of good here. I don't know what they needed to change it, but they needed something. I did enjoy it. I appreciate its cult status. I do.
Now, I don't think Charles Grodin is an idiot, right? But do you think there's a chance this entire film was just a prank by Martin Short? So at this point, Grodin had done 2 Beethoven movies, and Martin Short's like, offer him the Clifford film,
I mean,
but don't tell him what it's about. And Charles Grodin's like, I'm not a big dog, sure I'll do it.
I mean, yeah, it's possible. It could even be likely. I don't know.
The film feels like a prank more than it does a film.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I like to think that's how it played out. And Grodin's on set like, when are they bringing in the dog? And Martin Short's already laughing his ass off.
So I've actively ignored this movie for 36 years and hoping I'd never have to see it.
Well, sorry, T.
But here we are.
Sorry,
and
T. That's on us. That's our bad.
No. It's fine. I kind of like this fucking thing for some reason.
Oh my god.
It's fucking stupid, but it made me laugh so many times. It's like Problem Child, but instead of Problem Child, and being played by an actual child, it's a 40-year-old Martin Short playing a short sociopathic 10-year-old with Beethoven's dad as the John Ritter character. But instead, it's his uncle instead of his father, instead of like Problem Child. But I always felt like Charles Grodin looked like he was on the verge of an actual nervous breakdown in every scene, even when he was more passive. Like he looks like he's gonna pop a vein in his forehead with every fucking scene. Like I truly believe what Kevin said. This had to be like a prank from Martin Short, which is just hilarious to me. But yeah, it's when he tells Martin Short he's going to kill him if he touches that plastic dinosaur one more time. I genuinely believe he wanted to kill Martin Short in that entire sequence. It was hilarious. That really, really long table scene. I mean, that scene went on for fucking ever. Like 6 minutes, 7 minutes. That scene was just never ending, but it was hilarious. It is a total one joke movie though. Like if that's what it is. And that joke is just Martin Short making goofy ass faces and tormenting his uncle. But it kind of works, which is I did not expect going into this. I usually hate slapstick movies, but this actually made me laugh a lot. The Tabasco gag made me laugh. That fucking dance scene made me like belly laugh. Fucking hilarious. But I don't know if I was laughing because this movie is just totally off the fucking rails, or was it actually funny? I don't know. I really don't. I'll have to get back to you. I don't know if I'd ever watched it again either, but it did its job. It did make me laugh. I don't know if it wasn't Martin Short though, this probably would have been fucking intolerable. But Martin Short is amazing, and yeah, the movie was kind of funny. And I don't know if like I said, I don't know if I'd ever watch it again, but I kind of want to, which is weird. Yeah, it was funny.
Yay. Okay. This was a first time watch for me. I didn't know what I was getting any of you guys into. I hadn't even heard of it until about a month ago, and I saw a clip of Charles Grodin begging Martin Short to look at him like a human boy, and like I was hooked. Like I was hooked, landed, cleaned, cooked. Like I needed this thing in my life so desperately because that scene just cracked me up, and just the whole notion of 44-year-old Martin Short playing a 10-year-old. I was just yes. So I'm kind of heartbroken to say that I just I liked Clifford a lot, which doesn't seem like a bad thing. It's just I kept stopping short of loving it, and God, I wanted to love it so much. It's weird. Like it felt to me a bit like a proto Freddy Got Fingered in a way, because you got a man-child lead, like literally in Clifford. You've got an adult foil being like endlessly tormented. You've got a berserk finale, which must have eaten up like 90% of the budget. But mostly, I think for me, it's the vibe. The way what this film is pushing for is a very specific kind of anarchy, and I think that's where it fell down a little for me, because I'm with Dave here. Like authentic anarchy on film can be kind of tough to script, so you can end up relying a lot on Jesus Christ, improvisation. You can end up relying on a lot of improvisation, and you're kind of betting on it. Like you can have an improviser as talented as Martin Short, but like you have a production window, and you're essentially going all in on pulling 90 minutes of quality material out of the air. You on the spot, like, because that's what I feel was needed. I feel like they had a lot of improvised scenes, and I feel like they just didn't get it. The magic didn't happen, if you know what I mean, and they ran out of time. I think that's what happens. You run out of time, you run out of money, and it gets to the point where you've got to pad out the runtime with some of the weaker stuff that you filmed. Like that's what this felt like. I felt like sometimes they got the magic, and sometimes it just didn't fucking happen for them. And like, it takes balls to do as much improvisation. Jesus Christ, improvisation. Is that the word? I give up. But it
That
takes
is
some
the
balls
word.
to go for it.
Just for the
It
record, that
is.
is the word. Yeah, you're good.
There's the
Yay!
word. I mean, we've all seen the Kristen Wiig Ghostbusters movie. You know how badly it can go if you let people improvise an entire film. They can just not get the stuff that they need. Here, they get some, but they don't get enough. Like Dave said, there's just not enough good material in here. And it sucks because there is absolute gold in this film. Like this, when Clifford made me laugh, it had me fucking like howling. Like the first time Clifford leans his cheek in for a goodnight kiss, that creeps me up. Every time Clifford hyperventilates, I'm like crying, laughing. The aforementioned "look at me like a human boy" scene is amazing. My favourite one is the one that Kevin mentioned earlier, the scene where Grodin returns from San Francisco. Sorry, I've had 2 beers, so the scene where Grodin returns from San Francisco and he finds Clifford tied up in the bathroom, and he's talking about the bikers that broke in, and he's like, they told me stories about what they do on their bikes, and some of them were fun, but some of them were scary, and it really made me piss myself laughing every now and then. But for every like big laugh, there's 10, 15 minutes of kind of floundering improv that I just don't believe anyone thought was strong enough to make the final cut. It's stuff that was destined for the editing room floor that they just had to include. It's inconsistent. And as I said, I don't think it's necessarily a skill issue. I think it just happens because Martin Short is fucking excellent. His expressions are fucking priceless. When the material isn't there, he makes a really admirable Jesus Christ, admirable attempt at like mugging this whole thing across the finishing line, just getting it across that finishing line just with silly faces. He really tries, and it's such a good performance. I stopped seeing Martin Short fairly early on. I only saw the unblinking menace that was Clifford, which is crazy when you consider like the role. But I was just looking at Clifford, and Grodin. You know, Grodin is just doing that thing that he does. He's doing that thing he can do in his sleep, just mentally unraveling over the course of the film. You know, eyes bulging, veins popping, just exasperated, yelling and pleading. He's like a perfect foil for Short. He's on that Rip Torn in Freddy Got Fingered level. And there's great production design in that climax. I like it. The costuming's perfect. I think they must have spent quite a lot of time working on Clifford's suit in it, and the fit of Clifford's suit is weirdly perfect. It's a solid production. Just, you know, it isn't consistent enough with the laughs. I feel like it's trying to capture lightning in a bottle, but it's filling the bottle up halfway at best. It's just not quite there. I mean, I liked it. I liked it quite a lot. It's just one of those times where you have such high expectations for something. You can watch a good movie and it can still leave you with a slightly sour taste, which is a shame. But it's like I said, I really liked it, and I personally will watch it again. And if they were to announce tonight that they were making a sequel and 76-year-old Martin Short would be playing it and 11-year-old Clifford, I'd go and sit outside my local cinema tonight so I could be first in line for it, because there's still a truly great Clifford film to be made. But this was really good. I'm really glad you all liked it as well. It's I feel like it deserves an audience, and I hope it's starting to get it in the you know the letterbox era. So, yay! God, I could not pronounce any words then.
It was a valiant effort.
It was. I'm glad this is an episode you won't have much time to edit, because I am a slobbering mess. But yay, Clifford. Do you want me to start on?
Oh no, I will.
Okay.
I will do it. Tyler's
All right, then.
pick was A Normal Life.
I can't be trusted to speak.
I mean, you can be. I really want to. I want to be the one to kick this one off. I have thoughts and prayers, but mostly
That's
thoughts,
not thoughts.
Oh, what? Oopsie.
No thoughts.
Okay, so it's a 1996 American crime drama. It is actually inspired by real life husband and wife bank robbers. And a lot of the details hew fairly close, and it's actually written by a husband and wife team. So it's a very romantic inclined family affair. This film on coming in the middle and going. It's about Chris Anderson, which that name is a choice, is a young police officer who meets attractive and mildly psychotic Pam and falls in love with her instantly. Her alcohol problems can't affect them. His wild gun spending can't affect them, and they decide to get married. Of course, problems arise, and their passion is just as destructive as it is sexy. Of course, eventually Chris loses his job and has to take up bank robbing, and it all goes downhill from there. This was directed by John McNaughton, and, you know, John McNaughton made fucking Henry, and Henry is fucking great. And he made Wild Things, and I think we're all fans of Wild Things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He did a Masters of Horror episode. I mean, like, John McNaughton, he's a solid fucking director. not just in movies. I mean, he also directed a bunch of episodes of Homicide: Life on the Street. I think he might have done 1 or 2 episodes of The Wire also. I might be wrong about that, but I think he did. Solid director, making a decent crime thriller. Both Luke Perry and Ashley Judd give great performances. Jim Frost, who is also in The Wire, pops up in a few scenes and is decent. The problem is that they don't really give anything else to the characters, and the love story romance is she is in deep need of medical attention. And it's like that from the jump. So it's not like there's a buildup. It's not like her issues get worse as time goes on. It is 0 to 60. And I think my problem is I don't understand Chris's viewpoint. I've enjoyed women with mental health issues, but there should be enough alarm bells in this young man's mind to stop this. And I think that's my problem. It's a pacing issue in how they tell the story. Things need to escalate, and it never does that. It starts at a 9 and it stays at a 9 and it ends at a 9. There's no momentum. There's no buildup. It's, oh, she needs professional help now, and that doesn't change. And there's no ebb and flow. There's no tide to it. And I think that undercuts the narrative a bit, because you spend a lot of time with them before the crimes start. And I just feel there needs to be more for the audience to like latch on to with this couple than it's Ashley Judd and Luke Perry at their sexiest, and she plays a character named Pam Anderson, which again, it's a choice. It's a weird choice. I don't dislike it. I quite like it. I think it's well done in many regards. I just feel the script needed some tightening. It needed another pass. It needed something to make the story more compelling. Because instead what we have is a couple that start off at the end of their Lifetime movie of the week, and it doesn't change. And I think that's my problem. The real people, the real woman it's based on a couple named Jeffrey and Sandra Erickson. They had issues. Sandra had a mental health crisis during their marriage, but she was also like a really smart chemistry student. There was more to her than that. And the movie removes all of that for movie mental illness. And that is a big issue for me. But I think Judd is really good in it. She plays it better than most people at that time, I think, would have. Luke Perry is absolutely fantastic. I think one of the big, and we say this about several people pretty often, but Perry should have had a better career than he had. He's great here. The heists are well done. When it's good, it sings. I just don't feel it all comes together.
This week's episode has helped me mark off a Christmas gift item because, Dave, I can now get you a T-shirt printed with the quote, "I've enjoyed women with mental health issues" on the front.
And look, I have dated women that had their struggles, and I am not going to shame anyone for that or use that as a reason to judge anyone. But I think if your film focuses on somebody with that, you need to have a better understanding than this film gives.
I know. I get you. I agree.
You can get them straight jackets with "I have enjoyed Dave M. Gray." And then
I
to
would
complete
too.
this.
I would mail that to all my exes.
Joking aside, I know what Dave means, and I completely agree. I like when you're young and you've like had some dates with some people, and some of your mates would be like, "Oh, they're what's your favorite?" And he's like, "Yeah, but weekends are amazing." So there's that. It's a bit different from acting deliberately blind to everything else and then marrying that person at the seems to be the earliest possible convenience. So yeah, normal life needed to do more by the characters, and it needed to. I think it really needed to settle on what it wanted to say, or whether it just wanted to be a character study. And if that was the case, it should have done better by the characters. For me, I'm sorry, Tyler, I didn't really like this one because of that. I think it doesn't show us enough around as as Dave said, it's kind of nine and then nine. There's no escalation. Like Judd's character starts quite manic and has her issues, and then Luke Perry's character does nothing that would seem to help her. If anything, he's a little bit enabling with the way he just wants to go through his life. So it it doesn't. I don't think it ever puts enough weight on what they could be exploring in terms of the addiction issues or alcoholism or whatever they want to have Judd's character being dragged down by, and she is dragged down when she has these episodes, and so you end up just getting her character being really like annoying and unlikable, and quite early on in the movie you're thinking, why is he staying with her? Like if that was any other like potential partner for someone you're watching, you'd just be like, get away from them as quickly as possible. It's not just red flags, it's a whole just reel of red ribbon tying it up and ready to just wreck your home life and family. So it doesn't work from that point of view. So the starting point doesn't work. It's no good. Um, Even though you have that kind of meet cute moment, and that's how they get together, it needs a lot more done, a lot more work to get some grounding for their relationship. I read up on this. I did wonder about the true story it was based on and what they wanted to do with the film. And apparently, according to what I read, now this is just articles on Wikipedia. I didn't go to the external links, so we can take this with a pinch of salt. But apparently, the writers were inspired by his true story and also wanting to show some idea of the pinch felt by like the middle class or lower middle class. I don't get that at all. I just, if that was their aim, I just don't get that, because as Dave said, he just likes to spend more money on guns. She is spending money like water. So this is not this doesn't feel like a decent sample to look at for an a standard household that would be affected by the economic pinch in the mid-90s or whenever it's might be set in America. I know they have their debt and they have their problems, but it seems to come more from the characters themselves rather than an observed problem with you know the ways of capitalism around them in society. Uh, Having said all that, Judd is really good and makes this bearable, and I agree that Perry is great. I don't think I've seen Perry in many films aside from his charming turn in the Buffy movie. like he's just fantastic here, and I agree with Dave. It does make you resort to the oft repeated line of they should have had a better career. Like he's just sort of he's charmingly incompetent here, and it allows you to stick with the movie long after you otherwise would, because you would have just tuned out a lot sooner if Judd hadn't been so good, and if Perry hadn't been like just an absolute delight to watch, even when he's being put through the ringer. He's just really good at showing quite a range of emotions, but keeping a kind of sweetness there, even though he is going to become a bank robber just trying to keep a lifestyle for him and his wife. So, like, it's a mess. I think it's the weakest film I can think of that I've seen from McNaughton, but I know he might have had some other ones hidden away there that I've not got to yet, but certainly not on a par with his better works. But yeah, I liked it for Perry and Judd. That was it. I keep seeing Jim True and mistakenly thinking it was what was his name? Was it Dustin Diamond? Was it Screech? Like initially, I
You
was
got
like,
Jim
it's-
Truelove,
yeah,
a wonderful character actor, confused with Dustin. I can't speak to you for a minute.
look, both of them look a bit like me from different angles, so I'm
Hush.
allowed.
No. No.
It was Jim True
Uh,
Frost, though, Dave.
Oh fuck, you're right. I knew that too. I'm so
Presbo.
yeah.
Yeah, how could you, Dave?
Well, Prez is a fucking great character actor. I'm allowed to get names wrong. At least I didn't think he was Dustin fucking Diamond.
I'm
Fucking
Fleetingly.
monster. You fucking monster.
To be fair, my entire vision was warped after watching Clifford, so I was just watching this film thinking, are they all playing kids? What's going on? Is Martin Short appearing in this scene? It was very a very deranged Clifford weekend. I really, I kind of hoped I would enjoy this more than I did. I just didn't like it. As I say, I think they maybe tried to go for a couple of different points to be made, but I don't think they really effectively made any. So what you're left with are the two lead performances that are good enough to make it worth your while to enjoy them. But there's nothing else in terms of the actual filmmaking or what it's delivering.
I really liked this one. I did. Eventually, I really liked this one. For the first 30 minutes, I was unconvinced, or I was unmoved. Basically, I thought it was overwritten. Yeah, I thought the dialogue felt really unnatural, and I think that hurts the performances a little because it's hard to give a natural performance if the dialogue doesn't feel natural. And it was just kind of bugging me. Basically, I just thought it was all a little melodramatic. And then there's an exchange, like later in the film, maybe about half an hour into the film, that's kind of parted the clouds for me. And I realised that normal life was coming off as melodramatic to me because it is a melodrama. That's just what it is. Like, once I realised all of these dialed up moments were a feature and not a bug, it clicked with me. Like, I didn't have to take this movie any more seriously than it was taking itself. And that kind of freed me up to enjoying it a lot more. Like, there's a strong emotional core, I think, at the center of this thing, but there is a thick fucking vein of like TV movie melodrama and camp running right through it. Like, some of this is just fucking camp. Like, there's a self-harming, Russian roulette playing, bipolar woman who can't come unless her boyfriend robs banks for her. Like, I guarantee John Waters loves this fucking movie. I think probably Greg Araki has it in his collection too. Like, once I realised it was meant to be as heightened as it is, I was kind of in. Like, both leads fucking excellent. Like Luke Perry, I'll same as Dave and Kevin have said. Like, I think he has a rare thing. James Dean had it. River Phoenix had it. It's a kind of wounded, vulnerable masculinity, which I think is really rare among actors. Not many people pop up who can do that, and I think it is something that went out of fashion just around the time that Luke Perry was free of all his TV contracts and he was ready to start a film career. That type of performance went out of fashion for like a decade or so, and it just kind of fucked him. And it's a shame because, like both of you guys said before, he deserved better because he is a fine fucking actor and he's very, very good here. And Judd, oh man, like the first time Luke Perry speaks to her, all I could think of, oh, I see, Luke Perry is fucked. He is fucked from this point onwards. Like, she is so fucking good in this. There's not a lot of room for subtlety in the script because, as I said, I think it is a straight melodrama. But Judd unearths quite a bit of subtlety with her physical performance. There's really great stuff here. There are these little tremblings, that signal when a full blown eruption's on the way. And there's this. She really puts across this kind of the constant pain of just trying to function at a basic level when you're not built to function. It's all there, it's all there in a subtle way that but just really impressed me. I think it was a really good representation of mental illness. I thought she was really, really, really good. Script is good. My favourite line in this film is what's gotten into you, Chris? You used to be fun while she's playing Russian roulette. It's just that one really cracked me up. And I think the script works really well combined with the edit because there are some really good transitions. There's a tricky McNaughton uses several times. Great transitions where suddenly it moves on to the next scene and it's got comedic effect, it's got dramatic effect, it's got ironic effect. That's one place where the script's really strong. I had a good time, man. I think because I'm a huge fan of Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer, I went into this expecting something a lot more serious. But once I got on the same page as McNaughton, it was actually more effective than I think like a totally straight-faced version of his story would have been. Like, it needed that melodrama, it needed that camp, because otherwise, I don't know. I don't think it would have grabbed me like it did. So I really like this one. It was a solid pick, T, and I might even watch this again at some point. And just not just for the leads, but for the I don't know. I like the vibe of it. I thought it was a good one.
I mean, as you guys know, I love movies involving couples on the run, dark, fucked up romance. So this will be of no surprise to anybody, but I fucking love this movie. John McNaughton is such an underappreciated talent. I mean, Wild Things is a fucking classic. I love that movie. But Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer is a masterpiece. I love that movie so much. It's fucking great. If you haven't seen Henry, just go do it. I'm sure everyone's seen Henry, but it's great. But I truly feel like this is like his perfect companion piece to that film. Both different, yes, but I do see small similarities in each. Just one is about a couple of serial killers, and the other is about a struggling husband and wife, bank robbers who are just trying to live that, quote unquote American dream. But yeah, I really love that middle class suburban aesthetic. Everything about this movie just feels real. The atmosphere of it. 90s strip malls, the local businesses, Budweiser in a can. There's so much Budweiser in a can in this movie. I love it. But yeah, I adore this movie's aesthetic. Ashley Judd, I mean, I'm just going to repeat what you guys said. She's fucking amazing in this. It is such a deranged performance, and she just totally brings it. That scene with her naked in her bedroom with the gun and rocking the bulletproof vest. I mean, that scene is just, I mean, she's so hot in that scene. But yeah, Judd is naked a lot in this movie. A lot. Good thing. But yeah, Luke Perry, like you guys said, he deserves such a better career. And this movie just proves that. I loved his performance in this. He's so good. I mean, he's so in love with Pam that he'll literally do anything for her, no matter how fucked up she is. I get it. I totally get it. I feel like his character is just blinded by her, and it's just, yeah, I totally understand why. Perry is also really good in the movie called 8 Seconds. I don't know if you guys have seen that one, the rodeo one. He's really good in that too. Really good movie. But Tom Tolles pops up for a minute. He was Michael Rooker's sidekick in Henry. Love him. The soundtrack is great. It's got like some Urge Overkill in there. I love that Urge Overkill track. So good. But yeah, it does start at a 9. But that's why I love it. And it's such a shame New Line just dumped this to HBO with like zero promotion back in '96. Like they just didn't give a fuck and they just put it right to HBO. No theater release, nothing. It's such a shame because I think this movie would have done pretty well because Ashley Judd was just at the height of her popularity and Luke Perry was fucking right in the middle of 90210 where everybody loved him. So, but yeah, I would absolutely let Ashley Judd destroy my life. If she asked me to rob a bank wearing nothing but a banana hammock and a red clown nose, I would do that right now. So I get it. I get it, Luke Perry. But yes, I love this movie. One of my favorites. I think it's great. And yeah, John McNaughton is a fucking underrated talent. So good.
The one thing I didn't get when Kevin was speaking, he was like, "But I just don't get why he would, why he what's his, why is he so attached to what is it that he sees in her?" It's like Ashley Judd. Ashley
Yep.
Judd is what he sees, Kevin. What's wrong with
Exactly.
you?
Yep.
That's a good point, but I just mean like that's but
But
as a
he's
younger
Luke
man,
Perry. I mean,
that's a
Yeah,
good point
that's
for a
true.
week or two. But when you see all those red flags piling up, you're like, yeah, I can't do this. You don't get down on one knee and say, marry me.
and let's be fair. All the women in this film are shockingly attractive. So he lives in a hyper reality where everyone is incredible. Like it's Kate Walsh is like, and Penelope Milford are the only other women in this film, and I mean Kate Walsh is absolutely stunning as well. So I don't think that rule applies in this
Ashley
reality.
Judd is kind of like a special case, though.
I mean, I don't
Just
disagree, but just saying they're all special cases in the reality this film presents.
yeah.
It's time to pick one.
I really liked your pick, Tyler, but I was thinking like I'd put them on about the same level. So do I go for the one that's consistent right the way through, or the one with peaks and troughs, but the peaks I loved so much, and I am going to go for the one that had the peaks that really made me laugh. So it's going to be Clifford, but I really like them both.
I know Tyler will be disappointed to hear that I go for Clifford, but to make it up to you, Tyler, I have pre-ordered the complete Arrow video set of Stranger Things for you. So that is another Christmas gift marked off the list.
I mean, I'd rather watch Clifford again, but okay. Clifford didn't make me want to kill myself, so that's a good thing. But yeah, it's normal life. I could never pick Clifford over normal life. But yes, Clifford didn't make me want to hurt myself, so yes.
That's a win.
This is a tougher one than I expected. Clifford features a double gulp, which those of us that went to 7-Eleven in the 90s remember as being like enough soda to make you wet your friend's pants. So that's a strong argument in its favor. Normal Life has Ashley Judd being fantastic, so that's a point in its favor. I am sorry, T. I'm also going with Normal Life, but it is close. I mean, Clifford. It is close though. I felt very similar about both. Both had great bones that didn't deliver a full corpse. Next week, we're closing out the month with Kevin's lesser known hammers. And the three films we've mentioned covering so far are Never Take Candy from a Stranger. I think that's the full title. Captain Clegg and The Damned. That leaves one from Tyler. And what are you picking, T?
Well, I went on Google and typed in Hammer movies with lesbians, so Lust for a Vampire,
You
1971.
do know that is not a lesser known hammer. That is like prime hammer. You combo breaking bastard.
Is it really? Is it Prime Hammer? Because I've never fucking seen it, so I don't know. I think I've seen a lot of Hammer movies, but I've never seen that one. So this will be a first timer.
All right. Well, I'll take it then. But our friend Eric C just covered it on his podcast 2 weeks ago. You should listen to that while you're waiting for us next week.
I will.
And as punishment, you can give him the business, T.
We're on the gram, Raiders_of_the_podcast. We're on Facebook, where I sometimes remember to post stuff on Wednesdays. We have a YouTube channel where you can like, subscribe, and watch Kevin's awesome videos. We have a Discord, we have a Blue Sky, and you can always email us at raidersthepodcast@gmail.com.
Ooh.
All right, so I would like to take a moment to apologize for any audio issues we have. Not only did I not have a lot of time to edit this week, our recording software crapped out early on, and then we had to kind of try random things to get the rest of it recorded. So sorry about that in advance.
Plus, I had 2 beers and tried to say improvisation. Improvisation.
As always, thanks for listening.
Ooh.
Thanks for joining me, guys. I'll talk to you next week.
See you next week.
See you.